to get you in frame a little bit more, though. There we go.
Are you doing last second production as the video starts streaming?
Yeah? What's it to you?
It's nothing, and I don't know if we're better now or better before.
Don't you want your 50%? I mean, like, half your face was shown on the screen. Everybody's going to think this is like the Jerry show.
This is not about mass. This is about... Unless you'd like to do mass.
I'd kick your ass at mass.
Really? Because I grew up, and I masked the hell out of my childhood.
Chris, were you ever a fat kid?
I was... No.
You'd been a funny fat kid.
I was husky.
Oh, husky. I remember. I used to use that word, too.
No. I didn't use the word. Sears used that word. I got to shop in the husky section.
Oh, in the husky section. Yeah, I did, too.
And I didn't know what husky meant. Like, what does husky mean?
I think it's a dog.
It is a dog.
I think they were saying you're a dog.
But that's what we're at. Hi, everybody. Hello, world. I'm Chris Pirillo. This is Jerry, a.k.a. Barnacle Nerdgasm.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
And, yes, it has. And people were wondering if we were fighting, and we're not.
I know. What is up with that? They do the same thing with Jay and I. If we miss a show or something, they're like, oh, my God, are you guys...
Just busy. We're busy. That's all it is.
We're busy people. Sometimes he's busy, you know, playing video games.
And, all the time.
And sometimes I'm busy, you know, I don't know, eating.
Something like that.
You got to do it. You'll die if you don't. I checked.
I
read it in a book, Chris.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. You know, we weren't expecting Jerry to come over, and then Diana ordered Chinese food, and then minutes later, Jerry's at our doorstep, and I'm like,
I just knew there was something in the force. There was a disturbance in the force.
Actually, I think it's a 6 cents, not
6 cents.
It's a 6 cents of
That's
food.
some good Chinese food, by the way, too. It was a little spicy, but tasty.
I like tasty. So anyway, just so everybody knows, I already linked Jerry's channel in the video description, so that the one whiner doesn't whine about it again.
I could not believe that. Oh my God!
This is what someone had to pick me. They had nothing better to do than to pick apart.
You know what?
My heart.
I need to do a public service announcement right now, and this is. It is not... Okay, I know you guys want to support your favorite YouTubers. I know you do. But the best way to support your favorite YouTubers is not by going after all their allies.
Yeah, not the way to do it.
I get that so much. I get comments on my videos like, you're so much better than Jay. And not only do they say Jay, they tag him. And then you go over to Jay's channel. It's like, I hate that Jerry guy. He ruins your channel, blah, 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 blah. And they tag each one of us so that we see these on each other's streams. And we're like... Why?
See, that's not polite for one YouTuber. You have to pardon. I'm one sheet into the wind.
Plus, they tell me not to be you. I could never be this guy.
I could never definitely be this guy at all.
He could be like a quarter.
And this has nothing to do with mass. Again, this is. Did you see where they took the bowling ball and the feather and they dropped it in like a vacuum chamber?
I just watched that video a couple days ago and shared it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then somebody linked me back a video and said hashtag winning or better or something like that, and it was a picture. Like back in the 60s of like Neil Armstrong on the moon doing the exact same thing. And I was like, wait a second. That's way better.
Everything old is new again. And that's how it goes. And that's not really an age.
I just thought it was funny that he actually went and made the video in this giant, like the world's biggest vacuum chamber, which probably costs like a bajillion dollars to make. To suck all the air out took like 3 hours and probably 1,000,000 volts of electricity. And it was already done like 40 years ago. But it still looked badass and it was in higher resolution.
Sometimes you just need nerds to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, and it did. It gave me a nerd boner. I'm not gonna lie. I knew what was gonna happen, but I did get a rage and nerd boner.
So we are taking questions and doing our best to answer those questions as we've done before. I've got a series of patrons who have supported me in my regular endeavors, and many of them really like the TLDR in audio now. So I've got some plans coming up that I hope to institute in the next week. They're in a chat room right now, and...
You're just trying to avoid the camera because you're all old now.
Not really.
You're like decrepit. You're like the emperor.
So I've got the chat room open. I'm looking at the chat room, and then, of course, we're also watching the comments coming in through the live video stream. And so there you go. Ask questions, and hopefully we will pick them out. And if I miss them, someone who is helping me now with this stuff, Liz... Canadian Liz will pull out those questions, and it looks like we may have a couple in the queue. And I wanted to remind everybody, if you're not paying attention, because most people are not paying attention to the things that I do, and they say, why don't you ever do this? And I'm like, because I'm already doing it. We're doing Intel Android giveaways. This Intel Android tablet could be one of yours. Every week, we're giving one of these away over the next few weeks, and all you need to do to participate this week, head over to Twitter, tell me what your favorite entertainment app is, and make sure you tag Intel Android, and at the end include @Chris Pirillo. One of you will get this. You got to tell me. You got to tell me what your favorite entertainment app is. And then on Monday, we're doing another giveaway with a different Android tablet that did not touch Jerry's nether regions. So if I were you, I would not participate in this week because of that. I'll burn the box. Still participate.
This is cool. I didn't even know this existed. What is this?
This is what I'm saying.
The Mimo
Most
Pad
people
8?
don't know. Sorry, I'm hitting the table. That was my bad. No, I can't do it. I accidentally did it. So anyway, Intel Android giveaways.
Chris, I'm sorry. I will pay you 1 Bitcoin.
But you already gave me the metal Bitcoin. This is metal. Listen. That's metal.
I 3D printed metal. Video will be out tonight or tomorrow.
That's pretty cool.
Depending on how drunk I get.
That's pretty awesome. All right. First question comes from Sam Klein. I would love to hear your thoughts on the iPad Mini 3. Chris, do you think you will upgrade from your second gen? Well, Sam, I'm glad you remembered that I have a second gen iPad Mini. I do not have plans. As much as I like Touch ID on the iPad, love it on the iPad Air, it's not compelling enough of a reason for me to upgrade the iPad Mini because honestly, beyond that, there's really not that much of a difference between the iPad Mini 3rd generation and the iPad Mini 2 or the one with Retina display. So I'm upgrading, but if you don't have one yet, you want an iPad Mini, I think, obviously go for the latest gen if you have it in the budget.
Well, I'm poor people now, so I will not be upgrading. But the truth is, I think iPad is apexed. I think it has become the most perfect device that cannot be bested. Like, they can make it smaller, but I don't care. Like, smaller isn't good for me.
Which one do you have?
I have an iPad Mini and an iPad Air. I really like the iPad Air, actually.
No. The iPad Air 2 is so much better than the first one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If you see the performance differences between the two, it's palpable. Palpable. And by the way, I had a conversation the other day. Google Maps updated their app. And some people love Google Maps, and I love it for the data. The problem is I always had an issue with the way it rendered on both Android and iOS, and I couldn't figure out why. As I'm dragging it across, it just seemed kind of...
Yeah.
Like, what is that? That's not Android. It's the app. So I'm going back and forth. I tweeted something out. One of the guys, apparently, who either works on the app or works with Maps or is aware of the situation, he said, well, what do you mean? Could you describe what you're seeing? I'm like, it looks like it's dropping frames. It's a lower frame rate.
Yeah.
He responded and said, it's at 15 frames per second. They throttled it because they were trying to save battery life. So I'm like, wait a second. So the app has the capability of running 60 frames per second on any version of Android or iOS, and they capped it at 15. And I'm like, make it a toggle or fix this. This is a problem. So anyway.
I don't care about battery life. That's why
that's
why I buy those big 13,000 mAh battery packs.
I give me frame rate or give me death.
Because truth is, that's actually, like, I've been coming up with a list of things, like, that fat people got better than skinny people, because, I figure, like, the skinny people always got their list, so it's like, I want my list, and one of them is art pants. Art, you do.
I had
you
a
do.
list.
You don't even know about it, because it's, like, ingrained into you genetically. But anyways.
Genetically.
Anyways.
Huskiness.
Yeah, we were talking about husky earlier, yeah. So anyways, pants, right? Big boy pants have big pockets.
I thought you were going to say you can't wear pants.
Well, I almost couldn't get these on, to be honest. I need to lose a little weight. But I do have huge pockets, which means I can get 2 cell phones and a 1300 mAh battery in my front pocket.
Good for you.
I'm proud of that. That's like fat people pro tip.
I am trying to, strip away the amount of stuff that I have around me, not add to it.
No, I just want to fit it all in my front pocket so I don't have to go looking for it. It's a lazy thing.
See, that's the thing. It may be a lazy thing.
If I lose too much weight, then I'll have to wear smaller pants and I won't have room for the battery pack. So you see the problem here.
All right. So, Randy Vanderpool asks, Chris and Jerry, what is the first app you will use on Lollipop?
My tongue?
App.
Oh, app. Oh.
Hang on.
Or are we talking about Are we talking about Android
yes,
OS?
Lollipop.
Oh, I thought we were talking.
Yes.
I just heard Lollipop.
Right, but the question was which app. So unless your tongue is an app, that's not what you would use on Lollipop.
Well, I'd still use all the same apps that I'm using right now.
That's what I'm saying. I thought Chrome. That's probably going to be my first app.
My first app would probably be Twitter.
Chrome.
But
I don't like the Twitter client.
Because that's the nice thing I like about mobile devices. It's like on desktop devices, you need a web browser to download shit. You don't really on...
Not on mobile, not so much.
Mobile. Well, you don't even really on OS X either, so you got an app store.
Not so much.
And Microsoft's trying, bless their soul, but,
Matt Palmer, this is on YouTube, so don't say that I'm not paying attention to YouTube.
We're paying attention to the YouTubers this time.
What we do every time is just that some people think that we don't.
Yeah.
Have you learned, this is for you, Jerry, have you learned any big words from Chris that you've started to use in conversations?
No. Except for he did just say palpable earlier.
Palpable.
Yes. Palpable is my word of the day. I will try to work that into several times tonight. I'll use palpable.
He was also the Emperor in Star Wars. Emperor Palpable.
No, that was Palpatine.
No, that's what happens if you get too hot. You start palpitating. or your heart starts palpitating.
Oh, palpitating. I get it.
It's like, I was thinking
It's what Al
perspiration.
Pacino does. He palpitates.
Apparently, Tech Assistant milliamps. I know it's milliamps. Did you say
Fat
something
people,
else?
What is it? Fat people pro tip?
You made
Yes!
that up. Aiden
Yes!
said, yeah, you made it up.
Yes, Aiden, thank you. Hashtag fat people pro tip. You know what? You guys, if you want me to do a hashtag fat people pro tip every day on my Twitter feed, I totally will.
We need a husky pro tip then. If you get a
You
fat
do
people,
you do husky pro tip.
Husky
I'll do
pro
fat
tip.
people pro tip.
See, we're in between.
That's
We don't.
true.
We're not.
Husky is like right before you become fat.
Yeah,
it's like skinny, normal, husky, fat, and then way awesomer than everybody else. That's like way down at the end.
Oh, Calais asks, Barnacles, do you follow Formula? Is this a baby question?
No, Formula One. Like
well,
racing.
she has a Formula. How many? She's got 2, I think. She's got Formula 2.
Equals MC square. I try to abide by that, but no, I do not follow Formula One, unfortunately, but I do enjoy it when I'm flipping through TV and I just find it. I don't know a lot of the drivers. I only know the really big names, but I do follow the technology, and I do think it's really, really cool what they're doing with the engines now with the whole they're like electric hybrid systems that they're using in the Formula One cars. And it's crazy because these cars are putting out this incredible amount of power. What are they, like 1.6 liter engine now? Making like, what is it, 600-700 horsepower or something ridiculous because it's got turbo and electric energy drive.
Isn't the new Teflon, isn't it like really supercharged?
Oh, the Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla.
Did you call it the Teflon? It's so good it slides.
I was testing Jerry, by the way. I know what Tesla is. Thank you very much.
No, the new Tesla.
Because if you would have said the new Teflon, then I would have been like, oh.
Well, the new Tesla's claim to fame is they're the
like,
only people that have gotten a car that heavy to go that fast. Like there's
They're
not
doing
another
something right.
there's not another car on the planet that's electric or otherwise that's going to hit that speed. Like it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
All right, so we've run through those
For that
questions.
weight, I'm saying for that weight, lighter cars.
It's a husky kind of car.
It's a very husky car. I think the curb weight on that thing's like 4,000 or 5,000 pounds. It weighs more like a big truck, and it just goes like, what is it? Was it 2.8? It was like
You're asking me, Jerry. My
guys, let me know in chat. But I think it was 0 to 60. It was either in 2.8 or 3.2. I think it was. I want to say 3.2 because 2.8's like that's like Ken Block's rally car. So I'm thinking 3. I'm going to say 3.2.
3.2, 3.3, whatever.
But still,
it takes.
3.2 is hella fast for a car that size.
The only thing I care about cars is that Hot Wheels has now produced a series of Star Wars Hot Wheels. That Darth Vader and R2-D2. And,
nice.
I collected them.
Nice.
That's in.
Well, you know Xander loves Hot Wheels.
You should get in the Star Wars cars.
Like I should. I didn't even know there was Star Wars.
This is.
I don't know things, Chris. You need to tell me.
Well,
you need to tell me, Chris.
This is a
two-way street.
A husky people pro tip here.
Husky pro tip.
Husky pro tip.
Get the Jedi cars.
Hey, Chris and Jerry asks, TechBoy1212, do you like the implementation of reachability on your iPhone 6? If not, how do you think they could have made it better? Thanks. Great question. I think that reachability...
Is I picking it up off the table?
No,
or?
so, yeah, something like that. So if you double tap like your home button, the icons drop down. I think it's an inelegant hack. Did you not know that?
I did not know that.
So the idea is that if you've got small hands like me and you needed to so unlock it, double tap. You can do this in any app. So look, if I'm in the web browser, I open the Safari. Okay, I can't get to the Safari.
That's brilliant.
I can tap it, and then it opens up the app, and I have to double tap again, and scroll through. Yeah, it's fun.
That's a genius solution. I did not know about that, but that is freaking genius.
So there's the answer to that question. I don't know if I use it all that much, and I believe that Apple is just making concessions, and the best use case for an updated UI that I've seen is specifically the fact that they're using bigger screen phones. And I don't just mean higher resolution, I mean bigger screens. Mm-hmm. So someone had created this like a prototype of sorts of the honeycomb interface that they're using or plan on using in the Apple Watch, but applying that to iOS like on an iPhone. Mm-hmm. And it made a lot of sense because instead of having these static icons in static positions, needing to use reachability to get to them, being able to scroll through the interface without necessarily having to do that, I think was pretty wise. As far as actually using it within the app itself, very rarely, if ever, do I need to do that, which makes me wonder if I'm ready for more of a larger screen type of device, and then the next generation of iOS phones or iPhones, I'll probably go Plus. If only because of that reason. I'm getting used to using this phone with two hands, not just one hand.
I honestly believe that's one of those features that once you used it enough and you got used to it, it would become like second nature and you wouldn't be able to live without it.
Possibly. But I don't use it all that much. And obviously Jerry doesn't use it at all.
No, I don't.
He's a 2 because it's OnePlus One. That's 2.
I like the phone. I do like the phone.
Two hands usually.
I like the phone. I don't
Jerry's
like the
hands.
camera. I don't like the camera though.
That's a classic wallpaper there too.
I know you like
Android.
that.
No, that's old. That's old.
All animated.
That's old.
I know I put it on there because I liked
Well,
it.
you use boring apps. Facebook, Instagram,
Mustache.
Yeah.
It's Movember time, buddy.
Hang on. Jerry's been working on this for 2 weeks.
That literally, I shaved it on day one. That's all I got.
Wait, are you kidding me?
I'm not even joking.
Hang on. Wait. Is this 6 days in?
This is 6 days in.
Dude, check this out. I found something I do better than Jerry. Facial hair.
I shaved,
Dude.
and I've only shaved this off once.
Hang on. I shaved, what was it, yesterday? Yesterday morning? My facial hair is already longer than his.
6 days, man.
Oh, man.
I just wish it worked the same way over my
That is
whole body.
hilarious, dude.
Because that seems to grow back really easy.
My God, that is hilarious. John Prosser. Jerry, where is your FPT shirt? I'm so hurt. He sent you an FPT shirt?
Where?
Front page tech, John Prosser?
I don't.
He sent you a shirt?
It didn't show up yet.
It didn't show up yet. Tom Brown. Don't worry about his John. He's good. His feelings aren't hurt. He's just
John? Well, this confirms he sent me a shirt, though, so I'm going to go look for it now.
What advice would you give to a Brit moving to the U.S. for 4 months? Sorry.
Hold your tongue? No, just kidding. I don't
No,
know.
women, I think, or anybody might like the British accent.
No, your accent will get you everything.
Yeah, like you can say, excuse me, could I have tea? And people will like freak out. That was a horrible. What I was channeling Simon from Frasier, Daphne's brother. Sorry, I watch Frasier all the time. He talks like this, and I don't know what you sound like. You may sound more proper.
Your British accent will get you.
It'll get you places.
It'll get you places.
That's how I met Diana. I pretended I was British. I said, "Excuse me, might you have a?" And she, "Oh my God!" And that was it. No, that's not.
I'm not thinking that how it went down. I think it was more like, "Hey, can I see your license really quick to make sure you're 18?"
I don't know if I have any advice. It's a different country, obviously, but a lot of things will be similar. I'd imagine. I mean, it's similar but different. Just be yourself. That's America. America.
Just go to a big city.
Yeah, go to a big city.
Go to a big city. It's like such a big mixing pot. You probably won't even know you're here.
Yeah, there's a million cultures that mix. Honestly, that's America anymore, and I don't mind. I mean, just there's
America.
A million different. We had Chinese, but apparently you could have Chinese in Britain. I think they say have a Chinese. Have a Chinese.
Have a Chinese?
Yeah, they say have a Chinese. There's a Lily Allen song, I think, that says have a Chinese and watch TV.
See, if you said have a Chinese here, my wife would slap me.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So you can't, you have Chinese, like Diana, we had Chinese food. We had Chinese for dinner. You could say that. You can't say have a Chinese. So be careful about that. That's one thing that I know language.
Yeah, if you start asking for a Chinese in a big city, you might get something you're not expecting.
Could I have a Chinese? Like, what? Could I have a Chinese? Like, what? No, you can't. Just don't do that. That is my recommendation.
Best advice ever.
I really believe that. And honestly, everything I know about British culture came from Monty Python. That's and now Lily Allen. I like Lily Allen. No! Wait, hang on, Liz. Liz is saying no. Scratch. Wait, what? Scratch. Okay, what am I scratching here? I'm scratching my head. Jerry scratched something else. She said no, scratch. Who was it? Was it not Lily Allen? It may not have been Lily Allen. It may have been someone else. Hey,
you done messed up.
No. No, wait.
What's going on here?
I don't know. She said no, scratch.
Liz, you gotta stop doing drugs during these things. I'm just, I worry about you sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Tom Brown. Oh, wait. Randy asks, did you know that Lollipop comes out on Nexus devices Wednesday? No, thank you. Randy, I didn't know that. I've been, refreshing my Nexus 7 for every day.
Sweet, maybe the damn thing will stop crashing every time I use it as my screen on my SLR.
Doesn't bother me. I'm very much looking forward to Lollipop. Very much. Everything I've seen at a distance. The last video I saw on it was done by Detroit Borg.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he's I
solid.
mean, I watch the stuff. I mean, that's the thing about a lot of other YouTubers is like you think that it's competition, but it's not. I mean, like, I watch their stuff and I'm like, this is very informative. They think a lot like me, not every one of them, but it's just nice to sometimes just sit back and watch people that you can trust.
I even like the ones that argue with me. It's fun.
I don't mind arguing if A, there's a point to the argument, and B, good points are brought up rather than, idiotic, like, just, I hate that. Like beating the chest, like, if you don't work for Microsoft anymore, but like if you were to come over here and we were talking about the merits of, let's say, OS 10 versus Windows 8, and everything came back to Windows 8 as a positive thing, it'd be like, dude, you can't, you've got to concede some points. Some things Windows does better, some things OS 10 does better. But someone who's just doing this only believes, they have like a myopic view of, there's your new word, a myopic view of what works, and it's usually one thing that fits their world vision rather than something that is a viewpoint that is more flexible and accommodating to alternatives.
That opinion is very palpable, Chris.
No, palpable would be, never mind.
I tried.
Tom Brown, what would you do? This is what he asks.
Okay.
What would you do with the newly announced South Korean 5G internet? I would use the hell out of it. That's what I'd do. I don't know.
I'd pretend that I was like the Prince of Arabia and try to get people to Western Union me all their money. Isn't that what they do?
Did you see? Have you ever gotten a random spam text from somebody like trying to get you, hey,
yes.
$1,000?
Yes.
Some guy responded to it saying, congratulations, you've just signed up for the internet picture of the day. Press, if you would like to receive a picture, please reply with yes. If not, please reply no. And he replied no. He said, okay, you've replied, no problem. Here's your picture of the day. And so he was trolling him back and forth.
There's actually a term for that. It's called scam baiting. And it's there's a site, I don't know if it's still around. It was like scambaiters.com. Be careful typing that in. You might end up at a porn site. But anyways, the whole premise was it was a forum of people that lead these scammers on through email, and they had a competition to see how many times you could get the scammer to reply over a period of time. And there was one called Anus Laptops. I'm not even kidding you, where this guy who owned a computer store got like some message from one of these like, Egyptian prince guys, where he's like, I want to buy some laptops. So the guy's like, yeah, I want to sell you some laptops. So he replies back and he's like, I'm looking for this Pentium 4 days, right? He's like, I'm looking for Pentium 4 laptops and everything. So he replies back and he's like, well, we sell Anus laptops. He literally puts that in there, and he takes a picture of one of the broken laptops that he has without the screen on or whatever, and he's got tape over the Asus logo.
Right.
And the guy replies back and he's like, yes, we need 8 of those. I will send you a check. So then he takes a picture and shows the check. The guy actually mailed it to him. It was a foreign check that, using the whole scam, the whole idea is it takes the bank 10 days to clear it, and during that 10 days you've already shipped the merchandise, and then the check bounces. So what he did was he went and took all the laptops and put them in a box, but they weren't laptops, they were broken Lexmark printers. And then he filled the box with sand, and he got pictures of the UPS guy actually picking it up, and he shipped it to him COD. And the best part was he actually got the confirmation and put it in the thread that the guy actually paid the COD to take delivery of the laptops.
Ah, yeah!
And then there was a whole chain of mails after that where the guy was like, sleep with one eye open, I'm going to come to America and kill you, and blah, blah, blah. But he cost him money. He had to pay the COD.
And this is what I'm saying. I mean, honestly, bad people are bad people. I wish we didn't have to deal with bad people. And they're bad people no matter where they live. Because there are bad people in America. There are bad people in not America. They're oh, dude. There was.
I think the laws have more to do with it than the geography. I mean, like the reason
just
why
the laws, it's like a morality issue. Like if you're scamming someone, you have zero moral.
But like Egypt, if you're in Egypt, there's no extradition with the United States,
so
you can pretty much do whatever you want.
To me, that's not the point. That's not the even if they're. Why would I need a law to tell me I should not harm another human being?
No, I'm not saying why it's justified. I'm just saying why it more than likely comes from
I'm arguing, I guess, at a different level. But I know what you're saying.
Don't be a dick, Will Wheaton.
Yes, he is not a dick.
No, you dork.
No. Apparently, she's using. Liz explained that she had typed in or pasted in a question incorrectly. Mr. Mermelman asks, "What do you think of the Star Wars title?" I like it.
What's the title?
Shut up! Get out! This stream's over. I'm serious, dude. Get out!
As soon as Disney took over, I could give 2 shits. But what's the title?
You did. You left 2 shits in my bathroom.
I did. There was 2 shits, maybe 3.
I wish you would have used the toilet.
Wait a second. Do you not know the title?
Yeah.
What's the title? Tell me.
The Force Awakens.
Oh God, that's original.
Oh, as opposed to A New Hope. Sorry, but if you were to ask me which is more lame for a title, I would say A New Hope is far more lame. than The Force Awakens.
They should have called it Jar Jar is back.
I think
the return of Jar Jar. Oh my God! Somebody needs to parody that and be like the return of Jar Jar and put it on YouTube.
That'd be so bad. That'd be so bad. So I like it. I'm very excited about it. I talked about it in the podcast the other day. Which, if anybody's not paying attention, I'm doing a podcast daily now in our SoundCloud channel. You can get it on iTunes, get it in SoundCloud and everything. By the way, we already have 56. Man, I've made a new thing that if I make a verbal typo, everyone has to take a drink. Like in the podcast, if I screw up.
Diana, are you within hearing distance? Yeah. Could I solicit a beer from you, please? Yeah.
Could I solicit a second beer from you? Well, a first beer from you because I got the first one, but thank you.
Yay!
Aaron Linson asks, why doesn't Microsoft work on accessibility? I don't know if either one of us can speak to this.
Funny thing is, Microsoft does work on accessibility.
Okay, well that's bad. If someone's asking,
I mean, we don't test accessibility.
Oh,
because we don't have any testers anymore. We got rid of all the testers.
I was gonna say, that's the thing Microsoft needs to do is they need to eliminate every one of the people who test. Because
finding bugs is stupid. It's technically not a bug if you don't find it.
Make it an open beta.
No, it's like the whole. You know, if the tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound? Well, if there's a bug and a tester doesn't find it, is it a bug?
It makes a sound if you lay it off.
Is it a bug?
25,000 people, man.
Getting up there,
dude.
I don't think they haven't hit 25 yet, but they said that there's going to be another. Well, they didn't say, but the rumor is there's a 5th round layoff coming.
Now, I've already shared my thoughts on Microsoft jumping into Office and making it free on iOS and then Android.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Well, they can afford to do that now.
Okay.
And apparently they have billions of dollars to buy like Lego games. Well, it wasn't Lego, it was Minecraft still.
Close enough. That's
Thank you, Diana.
It's a surprise that they. Oh, there are new Minecraft Lego sets out now, coming out. I'm totally reviewing them in the channel.
Wait, when did this happen? Is this something that happened
recently?
Pre or after Microsoft?
The cycle had happened earlier. And then yesterday they announced the Big Bang Theory.
Did you just physically contact me?
That was a lightweight, dude.
Assault,
dude. It was like husky. I'm barely
Oh, now he's all.
I was like this. I was like, it's not bad. The Big Bang Theory is going to have a Lego set. Hun, there's going to be a Sheldon minifigure. It's so awesome.
Is he gonna come with a little worn couch
I hope
cushion?
I do. It's gonna have a soft kitty. It's gotta. What I want is all the minifigures. I want everybody, Amy Farrah Fowler. I want Bernadette. I want Penny. I want all the minifigures. That's all I want for the Big Bang
Minecraft. This is the funny thing though.
Hang on. You gotta see this.
This is what cracks me up though. Is you're like. They're releasing a Minecraft Lego. Do you realize what you're saying? Every Minecraft character is basically designed from the standard Lego bricks.
I know.
So do they just send you a bag of green blocks and say, make a creeper?
Okay.
Creeper.
Hang on, just saying. Bang.
If you can't make a creeper out of regular Lego bricks.
Oh well, everyone take a drink.
What's in this stuff?
Everyone take a drink. You just started too. See if I can find it. They're new, and they made the. You know how the Lego heads are circular?
Yeah.
They in the new Lego sets, the Minecraft. Now,
don't tell me they're square.
They're square.
Oh my God! Yes. So they're making them only compatible with themselves.
Okay, so this is no. They'll be compatible. That's the classic one, right? Those are the micro sets. They're actually making. If I can find the new one.
We're looking at pictures of Legos, but we can't show them to you because Lego.
Yeah. Look. There's Steve. Look. That's a set. That's the set.
Oh, so they got a little cap you put on them that squares them off.
No. It's the head. Everything else is a minifigure. It's just the head is square.
But there's supposed to be a thing so you can put hats and shit on them, right?
Well, not necessarily.
It's a Lego. You have to be able to put hats on them.
Oh. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm buying every one of the Lego Minecraft sets, and they're all going to be in the Geek Lives. So this coming week.
Wait a couple months until there's a giant Microsoft logo down on the bottom.
No, I don't care.
And when you open the box, it just crashes.
The nice thing about someone tweeted out earlier. Someone's made a port, an HTML5 port of Minecraft, which is way better than Java. I can tell you that much.
To be honest, that would probably wouldn't be all that hard to do.
Not really. I mean, it's so simple.
Because HTML5 was largely based off of Java. The syntax, anyways.
So. Anyway, my plan for the Geek Lifestyles channel, this channel, is TLDR is going to roll forward. I'm going to do a live TLDR video every day, but everyone is going to be able to listen to it, but the patrons will be able to watch it and listen to it. I mean, because I'm going to basically do it as a podcast. It's not going to be an interesting video. Then every day I'm going to do a product. Like one day I might say, today's product is this Minecraft set, and here's why I got it. And the next product might be,
Old
an iPhone case. The next product might be people like beer. So I may very well talk about, I mean, one of the days maybe I'm trying this beer for the first time, like porter or stout, because you know how I am. But anyway, a different product every day in the Geek Lifestyles channel.
I like
Something that would appeal to geeks. Some of that might be snacks, some of it might be beer, some of it might be toys, some of it might be tech stuff.
I like
it's
all
just
the
a
above.
mishmash.
All the
So
above.
that's the idea, is that I'm going to be doing more product, which I think people will like.
No,
I
they
hope
do.
like.
People have been asking for a long time for you to do more.
But I want to do more live stuff.
I have to agree with that guy. I'm not going to say who he is, but I'm going to agree with him.
Vance Smith said, "Ooh, he said Legos quick, get him, Chris." I'm not. I gave him.
Oh fuck the plural on the. You
They're
guys,
Lego
I
bricks.
did this on mine too. I'm like, oh, I 3D print Legos, and everybody gets, oh no, you 3D print Lego. You don't put the S on there. No, it's Lego.
Actually, they're incorrect too because you 3D print Lego bricks. They're bricks. Lego's the name of the company.
I will always know them as Legos.
I'll get to someone's question.
I'll watch my Japanime and use my Legos. Oh,
Chris,
no,
speaking of, I got a coupon for Crunchyroll for everybody. Do you watch Crunchyroll?
Uh-oh.
You talked about anime and you don't know what Crunchyroll is?
No, I'm like old school anime, like Akira and Urotsuki Doji. Don't watch that movie. It's watch it.
Well, anyway, okay.
18 plus though.
Big Power Stroke 89 asks, how is your new MacBook Pro? It's what's running the stream right now, so you can see how well it's performing.
Wait, this is new?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I notice?
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
I'm basically giving away the old one.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have it? I'm poor now.
Well, you can. You're still an active patron, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Yeah. So when we reach 1,000 active patrons, true patrons, one of them out of the array will be getting that MacBook Pro.
You realize if I win it even legitimately, they would call bullshit.
I know, they'd be like,
no
way,
you have to exempt
no
me, bro.
way.
You have to exempt me.
Jerry's asking for exemption.
I'm asking for exemption because it's the right damn
So
thing
now
to
it'll
do.
be like 999 other people. Robin Lubers asks, what would you eat and drink for your last meal? I don't know. I hope I never find out. I just hope I just keep enjoying what I drink and eat for the rest of my life.
Does it have to be like one item, or if it's a meal, then I want like.
Do you want like a smorgasbord?
I want one of everything. I want
one of everything. I want one of everything too. That's a good question.
Like one of everything. I want you take me to a buffet that serves everything from seafood to pizza, and I will be happy.
I'd rather go the other route.
Vegas buffet.
I want really good food.
Vegas
really
buffets are really good food. I've been to some pretty amazing Vegas buffets.
I got food poisoning. Not at a buffet in Vegas, but in Vegas, I had food poisoning. I'm not thrilled about Vegas.
Were you eating like endangered like?
No, it was a crab. Hello,
stop
seafood in the desert. Seafood in the desert.
Seafood in the desert.
What could possibly go wrong? Tom Brown. No, wait, hang on, Tom. I'll get to you in a second. Nelson Steffens asks, what are your thoughts on Windows 10? Do you think they are going in the right direction? I haven't used it yet. I've only seen it from a distance, and they need a lot of polishing. But I'm very, very much looking forward to the time when I can try a more polished version of Windows 10 on my Surface Pro 3.
I think they're going in the right direction with it, except for it's not being tested well, and their EULA basically says they can keylog every damn thing you do in the preview.
That's another
pisses
thing.
me off.
That's another thing. Well, that's in the beta. They're talking. I mean, monitoring everything.
Right.
People opt into that.
Yep.
What do you think, though?
No, but I don't feel that they're knowingly opting into it, because the amount of people that are astonished when I tell them that.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's no way.
Microsoft knows people don't read EULAs. They know they don't read EULAs.
Ignore.
But basically, if you're running the Windows 10 preview right now, every single keystroke on your keyboard is subject for them gathering and uploading to their server. I mean,
perfectly legal.
Perfectly legal.
And so,
you agreed to it.
Do you think? I mean, this is it's a leap, but I think it's a logical leap. Do you think that Microsoft eliminated a lot of its testers specifically because they thought consumers could give them the same amount of valid feedback for them to be able to address in a different way?
Oh, absolutely. They think being the word there.
What's going to be, to you, what would be I know what the outcome could be, but what would be that metric against which they said it's successful versus it's unsuccessful?
Well, that's the problem is the metric that they're going to use is based on telemetry, which is data that's coming in through an automated system that could be flawed. That's the problem that you run into is it's like you end up trusting data that's coming in from a source. You don't know how many of these computers are serving you data. Hell, somebody even did an article on how to disable all the telemetry in Windows 10. So if everybody did that, they'd just be like, oh, wow, nobody's reporting bugs. We're doing awesome. Keep shipping. No, it's a dangerous thing that I think they're doing right now. And I think that at some point they're going to have to start building the test team back.
You think so?
Yeah. They'll have to. There's no way that they're going to get enough feedback from the public to ship something quality, at least at the same level of quality they were shipping before.
Well, I'm hoping that Windows 10, it seems like they're stepping in the right direction with it. I'll be very interested in really taking a deep dive with Windows 10. Not now, because it's still very, very early preview.
It should be consumer. It should be relatively stable now, though, because it's not that far of a change from the Windows 8.1. Right. The 8.1 code base to Windows 10 is very, very minor changes. So,
well, it's more like the UI polish. Everything I see is still sloppy, in the sense of UI, not UX.
Yep.
UI.
But hey, keep an eye on those Google and Amazon products. The quality's probably going to start going through the roof since they picked up all the Microsoft testers.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Google and Amazon's been hiring all the Microsoft layoffs like crazy. Wow. I even got a job offer extended.
Dude, because Google, I don't know if you've heard my thoughts on, I think material design is better than the iOS 8 ethos. I'm not sure about the Windows ethos yet, but I really like what I've seen from a distance in Lollipop. I think Google has upped their game in a big way.
I saw a couple of YouTube videos.
They've cleaned things up by a massive degree. I wish that they would kind of get that ball rolling with Google Chrome. Like, performance-wise, Chrome is one of the worst browsers that I think I've ever had the pleasure of using.
Really?
Oh, it's perf.
I think it still outperforms Firefox.
That's not a benchmark to me.
It outperforms Internet Explorer.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far either. It's still.
Are you kidding me? Internet Explorer is like the biggest. Like, have you seen how much memory Internet Explorer consumes?
Google Chrome. Okay, on OS. Let me clarify it further. Maybe that's on Windows. On OS 10, Safari, and yes, it's Apple's product, but it's based on WebKit, which is open source. Google forked. They made Blink, so it's running on the same base on OS 10. Why does it have to be such a dog? And it's an absolute dog. Yeah, see, it's plenty performant on Windows. It's not. Well, sorry. Some of the world doesn't use Windows.
But then again, Google and Apple kind of want to stab each other in the face. So.
Well, but they were using the same code base. And Google thought they could do better, and I haven't seen it happen yet.
Given the choice, though, I'd still take Chrome over anything.
I use Safari, Chrome, Firefox. I use them all, actually. There's not
Safari's not actually that bad. For an inbox browser, it's actually pretty solid. Internet Explorer has been crap ever since IE8, though. It's been going downhill ever since IE8.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't had too many issues with IE. Even on Windows 8.1. Tom Brown asks, what Big Bang Theory character do you associate with the most? I don't know if I associate with one, although people compare me to Leonard only because he has glasses.
Penny, because I have large breasts.
Sam Klein asks, what is your favorite and least favorite feature on the OnePlus One?
My favorite feature on the OnePlus One is, it's funny because it's like not even really a feature. Well, actually, I'm going to change that. I was going to say the emulators. I love running all the emulators, like the Nintendo Super Nintendo. I've been playing the hell out of that. I love it. And you have to jailbreak the iPhone to do it. But I would say that probably the coolest feature is that you can actually, with Cyanogen, my version that I'm running on here on the OnePlus One, you can disable access and privacy on an app-by-app basis. So I can literally... I can actually go into the settings and say I want to blind it from being able to use or see any of these things.
Smart.
And so you can customize each app so that you know exactly what level of access each app has. And the funny thing is, you install like the Facebook Messenger app, and it's like has access to everything the phone has and 10 features coming in the next release. I mean, it's so bad. So you can go through and disable all the crap that the messaging client obviously doesn't need access to. So I'd say that's the best feature. Least favorite feature, the camera. Surprisingly, it looks great on paper, but it's hard to take a picture that isn't blurry. It sucks in low light. It's very, very noisy. And it does do 4K video, but the only way that the 4K video looks good is if you're outside and it's like completely solar fair light. Yeah. You have to have massive light. So I found that even my iPhone 5S took a better point-and-click picture with better contrast and better white balance than this did. Now, that being said... This does take raw pictures. So if you have access to Photoshop, you can take the raw data from the sensor, take it in and massage it, and get an amazing picture. But that's not practical for a cell phone. I need to be able to take a picture and post it. Yep. And for the take a picture to post experience, the camera on this sucks.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's usable. I'm used to something way better.
I've used a few Android devices that I was impressed with the camera.
Yeah.
But very few.
I hear that's a pretty common theme with them too. I hear like is it the Samsung? The Galaxy phones that have decent cameras?
They're decent. I mean, the processing that Samsung does on them, I think, is a little unfair. But this is one of the reasons why I really like the iPhone is the cameras. I never have to worry about it. Although it's not perfect. One of the things that I wish I wish they had optical image stabilization on the 6. That's the one thing I wish I had, and the one thing that would drive me to a Plus model is I would lose that usability. I'm kind of getting used to using the iPhone with 2 hands, even though I still use it with one.
Yeah.
My issue is specifically not having a higher quality camera.
Well, that stabilization gives you like an extra 2 stops. So like for low light photography, that's everything.
Well, it's not just the amount of noise that you might get or not get. It's the fact that it's not going to blur as much. Right. And I have a bigger issue with that. I'll take like 15 shots just to get the right one that doesn't have blur.
Yeah, no, that's the fight that you have with this thing the entire time.
Well, but the 6 is no better than to me, the 6 is really, I mean, other than...
Like, watch, we got a fair amount of light here, right?
Yeah.
So right now I got the camera on right here. So
there you go.
I'm just going to go ahead and just pan it slowly.
Yeah.
And take a picture.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't really slow. I mean, but I could do the same thing.
Yeah, do the same thing on your iPhone. I bet you it looks miles better.
Okay, let's do this. Okay. So what do? I just in the middle?
Just pan across the table like this, and then just take a picture where you're panning.
Okay, I took a picture.
Now open up your picture.
See, blurry.
Blurry.
Yeah.
I guess they're not that far off.
No, they're not that far. I mean, you're moving a lot. Like, you're moving. Okay.
Well, here, try to take a stationary picture.
Yeah. Let's take it. Okay, take a picture of
I guess
the tablet.
That's more practical.
Here we go.
All right, we're doing this.
Here. Okay, one hand. Just use one hand.
One hand.
Okay, I was definitely shaking there. Oh yeah.
Did the flash go off?
No, I didn't need it. It's a little blurry on the detail. You're holding it steadier than me, but.
There, let's see. Where's
You were definitely holding it steadier than me. Oh, that was HDR. Hang on. Crap. Hang on. Crash.
This is testing live, folks.
So there we go. So that's not bad, Jerry. Oh yeah, it's bad. Well,
no, it's clearing up.
That's clearing up, but
see how the white balance is bad?
Yeah, the white balance is pretty bad.
Actually, this did pretty good. Oh, you're not gonna be able to tell
that.
Yeah,
it might not be that.
But it's yellow where it should have been white. The white balance on this camera just sucks.
Yeah, it's a pretty good white balance on here instantaneously.
And you can correct it if you take it into Photoshop. You can correct the white balance. But I just noticed that the photos on this were definitely more grainy, and they do tend to have higher blur.
What are your thoughts on the Surface Pro 3? Asks Cartel Meyer. I like the Surface Pro 3. I
wanted to get one.
I think you had one.
I had a Surface Pro 2, and I was going to get the 3, but then they laid me off. So.
You know, I like it, except it after using the iPad, what is it? The optically bonded screen?
Yeah.
It's difficult to use a touchscreen device that's a large screen that is not optically bonded.
Yeah.
Because, and I didn't realize it until you boot up, and like, I'm pitch black, it's in the dark. I boot up my Surface Pro and I can see every single fingerprint on the screen because the light bleed coming in from the side. And I'm like, ugh.
Did you see the funny CNN footage that was circulating of them?
What?
CNN had product placement.
Oh, right.
I was laughing so hard when I saw that. It's like Anderson Cooper sitting down at the end, and the guy in the middle's got like his iPad leaning up against the Surface.
Microsoft paid for Surface placement, and all the anchors used the iPad.
Using iPads behind it.
Hilarious. Doesn't surprise me.
I bet you somebody talked to them about that. Oh,
no surprise.
I'm sure there's a refund.
I think if you have a Surface Pro 2, you'd be fine sticking with it unless you want a different screen resolution. In using the Surface Pro 3, and
well, it depends though, because the Pro 3 i7 is a screamer.
I mean, it's nice.
It's a very, very high performance beast for a tablet form factor.
It's a nice, even with a Core i5, it's ample. You know, for doing most of what people would want to do. And I think
Surface Pro 2 even runs Photoshop pretty good.
Well, the bigger issue to me is the where the Surface Pro fits in the grand scheme of things, and it's the same issue I think I have with Microsoft making the leap of making Office free. They needed to, because hello, on iOS you've got Pages, you've got Google Docs, or I guess the iLife or iWork suite and the Google Drive suite, and then on Android you've got Google Drive and other vendors. So they needed to release Office for free. The bigger problem is, are people, even like average people, consumers, using the products? Or is that still just all an enterprise? And honestly, I don't know if the average person sends me a link to a Google Drive app or a spreadsheet or a presentation. The average person I don't think uses that software for what it was used for at one point. Honestly, I just don't see it happening.
I do see a lot of links from people to Google Drive, though.
You do?
Yeah,
I don't.
Google Drive and Google Docs.
I see it from like businesses possibly, or people who work.
Yeah, it's more business. It's more business related stuff.
Not average stuff. Not average stuff. I just don't see it.
But I know quite a few big YouTuber guys that use that for like most of their transactions.
I don't see it happening. So I think Microsoft
Office
has
is a beautiful thing, though. I'll say that. I'll call it like I see it. I mean, Office is a fabulous piece of software. It is. It's not exactly the most stable thing, all the time. But as far as usability, like I use Excel like a fiend. I use Word. I use all those things. And I've tried using the free equivalents, and they're never as good. They're never as good, like Star Office and stuff like that. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's way better." No, it isn't.
Oh God, no! No! I had to use it for a project where we had to use open source.
Yeah.
It was the worst experience I ever had.
It's like the people that are like, "You should use GIMP. GIMP is better than Photoshop." No, GIMP is not better than Photoshop.
I'm the guy that like. If it was use this product for free or pay $50 and have a good experience, I will pay $50 every time.
I pay $50 a month for Adobe Creative Cloud, and I am happy to give that $50 every month.
I don't use Adobe. Someone was asking about.
Well, I use Premiere, Bridge, and Photoshop like religiously every day, so it's worth $50 a month.
I'm not. I don't know. I guess I don't. I'm not. I'm happy with Final Cut Pro.
The other thing, that's the thing. Being a Mac user, and what do you do for like image editing?
Not much. I don't really do a lot of image editing. If I do, it's on an iOS app. It's very simple. It's clean. It's no muss, no fuss. I don't do.
Chris, you're a lazy YouTuber now. I'm gonna just call it like I see it. Chris, he doesn't do awesome thumbnails.
I don't. No, I'm sorry. I can't make my eyes as big as like my face. And everyone at Jerry's thumbnails, he's like anime. His
you
eyes
had
are
to
so
call out
big.
the one thing that I'm like always attacked for.
I know. I saw someone like comment.
Oh, wait until you see the latest thumbnail. The latest thumbnail, I didn't even have to make my eyes big because I just stuck Bitcoins in them.
I want to do better thumbnails.
Did I tell you what really happened from that? Like, okay, so I started making my eyes big like an
anime. It was funny.
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was
99% of the people that happened, but then apparently I offended some group. Apparently there's some disease that gives you bug eyes that you look like that. I was unaware.
Shut up.
I can't remember what the name of the disease was, but yeah, there's a disease that gives you eyes like that, and for some reason these people thought I was making fun of them. And I thought they were pulling my chain, but then I went and looked up the disease on Google, and yeah, I could see how they could draw that conclusion. So then I kind of felt bad.
Wow.
But at the same time, it's like no matter what you do, you will always offend somebody. So it's more about the context than the word.
It is. I believe that. It's context. So, next question. I don't know if we want to do that one.
I can take that one.
Okay. Andrew said, if Microsoft asked you to come back to work starting tomorrow, would you go back, Jerry? And if I were you, Jerry, I'd go back. That's me. That's me. I'm just saying I'd go back.
I understand what you're saying.
You're not asking for my opinion.
I'm not asking for your opinion, but the thing is it'd be conditional.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that.
I wouldn't flat out say no.
Right.
I worked there for 15 years. I pretty much know everything about the entire operating system division. Like, I've done every job. I've been a builder. I've been a tester. I've been a dev. No, I would go back if the conditions were met. And the conditions would have to be that they're not going to just hire. I'd want a contract for a length of time. Because I'm not just going to go back so that they can just lay me off again when they run their little random algorithm again in a couple of months. And let's see. In addition to that, I wouldn't want to go anywhere other than Windows. That's the other thing, because I already got offered one position in Xbox that I turned down. Because yeah, I'm not. I love Xbox. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what I'm passionate about. Yeah. I'm passionate about operating systems and UI automation is like what I'm most passionate about. It's actually something I should start integrating into the CodeGasm series. People will probably get a kick out of it. That's what I do. I like writing code that can physically assess UIs and test UIs. It's actually cool. So that goes back to the guy asking about accessibility testing. I was kind of on the forefront of that stuff. So I know that it was done. So if you're having a horrible accessible experience, then you could probably kick me in the teeth for it, and I apologize. But yeah, it would be conditional. If they were willing to give me like a year contract, guaranteed years employment or something like that, and it was in the Windows division and it was in a field that I enjoyed. I don't want to go back as a dev. I don't want to go back as a PM. I want to go back as a software test engineer that's in the development side. Then yeah, I'd take it.
Senior?
Well, no, I would keep my tenure. That's the other thing. I'm not going to go back unless I keep my tenure.
I'm trying to make sure.
That was pretty sweet. Thank you. No, I like that. In case any of the Microsoft people out there listen.
And that's why I was saying if it was me, I was trying to tell you my opinion before you
Mm-hmm. Well, they wanted to get a lot of people. The thing is Microsoft had to use a random algorithm to get rid of people. It was because they couldn't risk all the lawsuits that would come back from that large group of people. And I know one lady, it was unfortunate, she got laid off. She was there for longer than me, 18 years, and she actually currently is suffering from a really severe form of cancer and everything. And she was on the layoff list. They laid her off, and she's like in the middle of fighting cancer and has hundreds of thousands of dollars in bills. Yeah, it sucks. But they did this random algorithm. Well, the problem with the random algorithm is it ended up laying off a lot of key people that owned a lot of key infrastructure. So,
yikes.
Yikes.
Randy asks.
I happen to own a fair good bit myself.
I can imagine. If you combined social networks together, or two social networks together, sorry, the two is TO, not TW.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones would they be? Combined two?
That's an interesting.
Like Twitter for the news? I don't know. I like Google Plus. I like that for what it is.
You know what I combine? Twitter and Reddit.
But Twitter is Reddit for me.
No, sort of. But the thing that I like about the whole Twitter thing is, like, you go into Twitter, somebody replies to somebody, another person replies to them, but it's all in a linear feed. I'd like it if it was stepped out.
Yeah.
Like Reddit. I would love it because then people could reply to other people and you wouldn't get confused reading through the timeline about who was responding to.
Okay, that's fair.
That would be cool. So if they merge those two together, I think that would be a winning combo. But without all the assholes.
Yeah, good luck. That guy commenting asks, Jerry, could you please do some Java coding?
You know what? I'm actually thinking about getting into Java a little bit. It's something that I've been exploring over the last couple of weeks, especially since I'm doing cross-platform development now for Opulent Studios. So after we're done with this latest project that we're working on, which is all in mono, then I think Java is probably going to be the next logical language we look at.
Ernesto asks, what do you guys think about 60 frames per second on YouTube? I uploaded some 60 frame per second video the other day.
Yeah, I did too. My very first one was uploaded a couple days ago, and today is my second 60 frame.
It's
Although
pretty...
I cheated a little bit. I cheated because like all the 5D Mark III like high quality footage is 30 frames interpolated to 60, but then the time lapse footage and all the handheld footage is 60 frames per second native. No, so I cheated a little.
I used the iPhone to record 60 frames per second.
You know what else I did too?
It's fine.
I put 60 FPS as one of the tags just to be a stinker, so that everybody that's like explicitly
searching
looking
for 60
because
FPS.
everybody always looks for the new shiny, right? So I was like.
I think it's cool.
Hey, I gotta feed my family,
I'm not
folks.
using
You know,
it as regularly as I'd like to, but that may very well change. If I get into the product, if I want to try to live stream the product, like
it does look beautiful.
This product, but right now live stream at this stage, I'm using this particular camera, and I know I'm definitely capped. I'm definitely far below 60 frames per second.
That's 29.9.
Yeah, 29.97. No, wait, 29.97.
Yeah. Hey Diana, what do you think about 60 frames per second?
Oh, it looks nice.
See?
I like it.
She knows.
If I asked my wife, she'd be like, I don't know the difference.
Angela Frazier asks, or says, I'm about to scan generations of family photos to archive them. What type of media should I save them on? I would save them on 3 types of media. Backup. I'd say optical, go magnetic, go like with an external hard drive, and then like a USB, solid state. Go all 3.
They make archival quality DVD-R media that's, I think it'll last up to 100 years. It's really expensive stuff. But I agree with Chris. You need to back it up in multiple locations because nothing is foolproof. But the other thing is when I do my backups, I generally back up to small hard drives, and then I take them and store them in my safe.
Yep.
And the reason why I back up the small hard drives is I'm only running them while I'm backing up, and the hard drives usually proportionally live, as long as they're spinning up and they're being used. So as long as you take them, park the head, and store them, in theory, you could let the things go, 1,000 years and plug them in, and they should work as long as there's a USB.
Yeah, I was going to say,
you might need about 18 adapters, but you'd eventually get the data off there. The only exception being is that the rare earth magnet in it probably will wear out after a couple billion years. So just be aware.
Be aware when you're dead and your future generations, many of whom will be dead.
Yes.
At some point they will.
But I'm thinking that in that time period, they're probably gonna have a better data recovery method that can just scan it from across the room and take it off. So you won't even need the magnet.
Jason asks, "What do you have thoughts on the Motorola Droid Max?"
I don't even know what it is.
I know what it is. I've had limited exposure to it, so I can't speak as clearly as I would like to be able to speak about the particular.
I'd like to test one though.
Let's see here. Do you guys think ARM will lose to Intel if in the mobile market now? ARM will lose to Intel. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
In fact, and I've said
they're kind of two different things still.
Well, at this point, how long do you give it before OS X can run on an ARM processor? I give it 2 generations. Do you know?
Hey, Windows can already run on an ARM processor.
Well, hang on. Well, we're talking. Well, I guess it's no. We're talking about the same galaxy. Hang on. So, this is a slightly different universe because right now, Apple's they're on the Intel platform.
Yeah.
And, all their Macs are on the Intel platform, but the iPad Air 2 is now faster on the A8X processor than a MacBook Air 2 generations prior, like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting faster and faster and faster and faster and more effective. So how long do you give it before, I would say, some Macs are able to no longer rely on Intel? And I don't want to see that day, because honestly, for years and years, I've run, for desktop machines, it's been AMD and Intel. They've pretty much been the two camps. But I want.
So you're actually seeing ARM as being a heavy contender in the actual desktop
market.
No.
No. Well, not for
meaning high power consumption.
Not for you or me. I mean, if we're processing video, if we're doing some heavy lifting, I'm on the iMac. Okay, I'm trying to remember the full name. iMac with 5K Retina display. It's fast. On this MacBook Pro, it's fast. It does what I need to crunch video. I need the processing power. I need that power. But for the average user, they don't. And if they want a Mac, they have to overspend to get what the Mac might be able to afford. But I think the desktop, for the average user, let me add another caveat.
Yeah.
For the average user, I think the desktop is getting further and further pushed away. The desktop is becoming prosumer, professional. I can't believe I called myself a professional. Gamer, which I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
The hardcore users. But for the average user, all they need is something like this. So I would want to see competition across the board. I think
ARM, from a power efficiency standpoint, kicks ass. That's the reason why they use them in mobile devices.
But it's not been something that could run a desktop up until...
No, but there is something you got to think about too, and that is we're seeing a lot more of the processing, especially in prosumer applications, being shifted to the GPU. So now, because the GPU can do floating point calculations way faster than any CPU ever could. So if we see more of that happening, where the GPUs are taking the brunt, then all you're going to need is a little ARM processor to fill in the cracks.
That's what I'm saying.
And that gives more power to your GPU. Because the less power your ARM processor takes, the more you can feed to your GPU and have a more heftier GPU.
And this is something that I would hope. Honestly, I think OS 10 in OS 10, 10, 11, whatever the next version of OS 10 is next year, I think it would be a dramatic leap to leverage the GPU more than Windows has been able to leverage the GPU to this point. And for a desktop, Macs could be a strong contender for power users. Not necessarily for power gamers or prosumers necessarily. But when the question is, do you guys think ARM will lose to Intel if the mobile market, or in the mobile market now? I don't want to see anybody lose the game, because if someone loses the game, they're out of the race. And the problem is, if you don't have competition, consumers lose, prosumers lose, professionals lose. You need competition. You need each one of them to one up each other. So that's why I've been thrilled to see Intel getting into the tablet race. Getting into the mobile race in such a way that they had not done so or been able to do so before. Anyway.
They just hung back long enough to wait for ARM to establish and be like, hey, look at
now we
look
need
at all
to
this
start
demand. They're
moving.
like, yeah, that's starting to become a big market. We might want to go throw our gloves in the ring. But the other thing is, ARM is a reduced instruction set processor, so you need to optimize the hell out of everything to be efficient on it.
But OS 10 apparently was being developed for Intel years before Apple announced support for it. So it would not surprise me if Apple was trying to cut out Intel at a certain part of the marketplace, and that would be like the low end. I'd imagine if Apple were to roll out Macs or traditional machines running OS 10 on ARM, their own version of ARM, I believe, and I think it's going to happen. 2 generations or 2 years removed, we now have the same power in an iPad Air 2. I think Apple will move to make the Mac Mini even lower cost potentially, and running on ARM, not Intel. And I think they'll do the same thing with a MacBook Air. And then the prosumers on the other end, you'll have the MacBook Pro, the iMac in the for the foreseeable future, the Mac Pro, which they're still used for.
Another really cool thing to make note of, and this is happening on all operating systems, not just on Windows, but just-in-time compilers are becoming very, very popular. I mean, let's not just compile native code. Let's compile code at the time it's actually being executed. And when you start
but isn't
doing
there
like
overhead? Like
there is overhead, but the funny thing is that overhead is like super mitigated now through a whole bunch of optimizations. Like ARM has a new kernel that you can enable. I tried it; it actually doesn't work very good right now, but they're working on it, where it'll only compile it the first time you run it, and then until
like
there's
Art.
an update, it runs. Yeah, Art.
Art.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I was looking for. So the Art kernel just runs it immediately, or I shouldn't say the kernel, it's the runtime.
Right.
The Art runtime does that. Well,
Android runtime.
Exactly.
So
Derp.
Sorry.
But it's one of those things where
I can't believe I'm schooling you.
I know.
I'm not schooling you.
I know.
I'm clarifying.
No, well, it's okay. I'm still getting familiar with the ARM space, so I don't feel bad if I don't know a whole lot about it. But the thing about the runtime compiling stuff is now you don't have to worry about having a language that's on bare metal. You don't have to worry about a CPU being 32-bit or 64-bit. You program for 64-bit. You just program for 64-bit, and the runtime itself figures out the optimizations and compiles it to run on all the lesser systems. And that way, you're universally compatible with everything. And that's what stops, like if you have an OS that's built from the ground up to run native code, and then it's impossibly difficult to get it to run on other architectures. You basically have to go re-engineer all those components for the new compiler. Well, if you crunch the operating system down to a very small, lightweight entity that's designed to just runtime compile everything and run it on top of that layer, being a middle layer, well, then you just have to worry about that tiny little piece being architected for each system. Everything else can be the same.
Right.
And then you've got truly cross-platform.
Oh.
Kind of like how Java has been forever, except for it won't suck like Java and it'll actually be fast.
Java was a great idea.
Java's a great idea, but the problem was...
On the desktop. I'm not talking server Java. I'm talking about desktop Java.
The problem with Java that they ran into was
security?
They had... Well, no, security aside. Let's not even talk about security. Let's just talk from a performance standpoint. Is Java...
Or lack thereof.
Instead of everybody that's creating these devices following the rules... Java just had to make it work everywhere. So there are so many code paths built into the Java runtime to handle a million edge cases. So now it's like, I want to click a button. If you look at the code that's actually running underneath the runtime code, it's like, am I on this device that has this specific quirk? Am I on this chip that has this specific quirk? Am I on this screen that can do this resolution? There's so many little hot fixes and patches throughout the entire thing that's where the performance is just murdered. If everybody followed the rules, it wouldn't be such a performance whore.
Well, yeah, people are going to follow the rules.
And they never will ever. So
we may start winding down soon. I think Jerry and I were aiming to do about an hour or so. But we've got a few more questions.
Yep.
Tom Brown asks, are there any Easter eggs in Windows 7, 8, 8.1 that has undiscovered tricks? I don't know. I think any kind of Easter egg would have been surfaced.
Yeah, I can actually give you a little background on this.
Didn't it get eliminated?
It got eliminated.
Oh, so sad.
So we used to have Easter eggs like
everywhere.
Crazy.
I love Microsoft.
One of my
Easter
favorite
eggs.
Easter eggs ever was that you'd open Internet Explorer and just drag the Internet Explorer logo at the bottom of the screen. And it would start raining down snow. And then it would play music, and it had every name of the people and the developer of the project scroll down the screen.
I remember one that had like the names kind of flash up like that. I remember that.
But here's what happened: is Microsoft had to release access to all the source code to the U.S. government. In order for the U.S. government to use it, they needed access to all the source code. So we had to do a cleansing of all the source code. That means removing all the bad comments, and there were some funny comments in there, dude. You wouldn't believe how bad Microsoft developers cursed in comments. They would carry out entire arguments and comment blocks in the C code. It was insanely funny. But they had to cleanse all that stuff out. And the other thing was no Easter eggs, because the Easter eggs could propose a security vulnerability since they weren't tested and vetted through the regular shipping process. Right. So they actually had a rule go out, and this has got to be 10 years ago, that went out that said anybody found putting an Easter egg into the code will be immediately terminated and prosecuted. Wow. So there are no Easter eggs in Windows anymore. Wow. And it's not just fear of losing your job. It's fear they will fully prosecute you for it if you put it in there, because there's so much on the line because the software is actually used by the U.S. government. And if the government's going through and doing a code review and all of a sudden they see, oh, hey, have some shit spec off the screen and open TC port 129, they're going to be like, oh, shit. And then, Microsoft loses that contract. It's game over. I mean, that's the majority of the money. So
That's sad. I love Easter eggs.
I love them too.
Jordan asks, are you going to CES 2015? Are you going to meet David DeFranco? One day I will meet David DeFranco, I swear. I don't know about CES, though. Not yet. If I find a sponsor, then yes.
I might actually be going to CES this year.
Oh, cool.
Planning on it, but and this is still way up in the air, but I may actually be attending with the Robo guys, the Robo 3D guys.
Oh, cool.
This year. So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. There's some logistical things they're trying to figure out and everything to see if it's even possible, but if all the stars line up and everything's right, you might see me hanging out around CES at the Robo 3D booth.
I don't know yet. Sub.
If not, I am going next year for sure, though, and then I'll force Chris to come at me. It'll be cool. Oh, I'll force him.
I'm not going to CES on my. I will go to CES.
I'll hit you on the head and throw you in the back of my car.
I go on sponsorship, and here's why. I don't mind CES for what it is, and I enjoy it. I don't want to cover everything that's there, but I'll go on a sponsorship because A, it's very expensive. It's very tiring. It's very. Everybody gets shoved into Siri. I didn't say Siri. I said CES. Siri. Have you done CES before?
3 times, and I still have never made it into the main hall.
That's the problem. It's such.
I always forget to pick up my credentials because I'm too drunk, and then I just walk up and down the strip.
It's crazy.
But Robo guys, I won't do that this year. I won't do it this year. Just saying.
It's just everybody else is covering the same thing. So why am I going to take the time to spend thousands of dollars on covering the same thing that other people are covering, and just waste time, get sick? You see friends and amazing people, but honestly, I mean, I guess I've done it enough times.
Why are you such a prude? Why you gotta be such a prude?
Because I've done it way more than 3 times is why.
I never, like I said, I never actually made it to the hall. I just stayed on the tram and kept going until we hit another casino.
I'll do it, but on a sponsorship. Otherwise, it will not. I can tell you, it will not happen.
I think last year it was at the Staples Center. Do they still hold it there?
No. Wherever the convention center is, convention hall. It's just so. Okay. It's crazy. It is so. There's so many people and so many things happening. And I swear to God, you walk down the hall, it's like, oh, look, it's another tablet. Oh, look, it's another iPhone case. Oh, look, it's another TV.
I just want to go to meet people.
Oh, look, it's another computer.
I literally just want to go to meet people.
Oh, look, it's another this. Oh, look, it's another that. Oh, look, it's another camera. It's the same thing over and over again. And it's hard. It's hard to find the diamonds in the rough. And if you look at the CES videos that I've done in the past, it's not just been covering everything that everybody else has been covering. It's finding the unique things, the things that stand out, the things that are amazing. The problem is it's difficult to find those products. And it's very time consuming. And it's very energy draining. And it's not that you have the... No, did I say Siri?
Ooh, she got mad at you, bro.
Dude, yeah, I didn't say Siri.
Ooh, she didn't like being thrown out like that. She probably reported you.
I enjoy it because I get to see people. I get to meet companies. What I don't enjoy is having to fight for attention with thousands and thousands and thousands of people from around the world who are coming in. One person's got a blog, and they've got readership, so therefore they get attention. And then you've got, on the other hand, someone from the New York Times who's got legitimate reach. And then you got a YouTuber who's huge. And this YouTuber over here who's got reach may not get as much of attention as much attention. Much of attention? That was horrible. Much attention. Jerry, you walk in. How many subscribers you got to? 1 million?
250,000?
250. So you walk in there and you say, I'm a YouTuber. I got 250,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. They're like, great, where's your blog? Like, what? You have to contend with people who are demanding the same amount of attention from the same vendor, the same person, and there's thousands of people, and you can't get the questions answered. You can't talk to the people who know what they're talking about. You got to talk to PR flacks. You got to talk to marketing people or booth people. You're not talking to people who can give you the answers.
Chris, easy, buddy.
All right. I'm just saying, it's like.
Hey, this is where you went wrong. See, you're looking at it from a professional standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from, if I can get somebody to pay me to come to their booth, I'm going to hang out at their booth and just
Jerry,
talk
what did I
people's
say?
ear off.
Jerry, what did I say? What did I say?
On sponsorship.
Thank you. That's why. Because otherwise, it's so much of a drain. It's a drain. I mean, it's just so much of a drain. It's fun. I love doing it, but it's
well, I obviously can't afford to do it. That's why I need.
It's very expensive.
But the thing is if somebody's willing to invest, somebody that I'm already working with, willing to invest in me going down there, I think it'd be fun.
Jerry, I don't disagree.
But I wouldn't walk around like you and try to fight with people. I'd be like, no. I'd be like, hey, Linus doesn't like beer, so we'd have to. Hey, Logan, come on over and I'll buy you a beer. See, okay, now I don't have to fight for attention with him because he wants the beer.
No, but Logan's he's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that from any major brand. If you don't talk to the right person, you can't get to the right person. So you can't get what you need or what you're looking for to be able to deliver back to your community.
If you stand up and do the truffle shuffle in the middle of the booth,
Jerry,
people will remember you.
I'm confident that you are correct there. My point is, I do not have immediate plans for CES or any major convention. I prefer smaller conventions. If you ask me, would you go to a smaller event? I'd most likely say yes just about every time. Because a smaller event allows me to better connect with people who are there versus getting lost in the hallways. I don't like that feeling of being...
small. Let's start small. With
CES isn't small.
No. Start small with like a local event.
And I do.
Maybe go do a little like LAN action or laser tag, and then we'll work our way up to CES.
No, Jerry, I've been to CES. I don't need to work my way up.
Hey, apparently you do.
I don't.
You sound like you got a little destroyed from your last experience. So I need to undo that damage.
It's not my last experience. It's the problem is I don't think people who don't go understand just how packed it is. Just how crazy it is.
I'll admit it was pretty crazy.
Just how expensive it is.
Yeah.
And I can't just willy-nilly... I can't just throw money around. I can't do it. I'm not The Verge. I'm not, I'm sorry. I'm not, AOL.
Learn to Verge, bro.
Yeah, I know. Do you even Verge,
do you
bro?
even Verge?
I'm sorry. I'm just not that. So I have to figure out what's the justification of me spending that time to do something that is absolutely fun. I love doing it. I love seeing the new stuff. It's the question of how much of a pull on that, on a personal level, is that going to be for me? And that's where it becomes expensive. Not just on, in terms of how much you're paying for a hotel if you can find one.
Yeah.
On time, on energy, on all those things. That's true.
It would be draining. I mean, even going to World Maker Fair is probably like the most draining thing I've ever done in my life.
But it was
great.
Fun.
It was so much fun.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like when you go to a really good event, you meet people, you connect with people, you see people, you shake their hands, you interact with them. I love that.
Get drunk and stumble around.
If all I could do is just, and honestly, Jerry, I'm not kidding. I've talked about this before. I want to do a vlogger fair just for the geek YouTubers, geeky, whether you're, a gamer YouTuber or you're a techie YouTuber or you're a pop culture geeky YouTuber. I want to do a vlogger fair for geekier YouTubers.
Well, get on that shit. I'll be there. I got many hats.
I know I can count on you. I got to count on the other ones.
I got all of them, Chris. All of them.
But I like the smaller events where you feel like you can connect with those people directly rather than getting lost in the hallway. And that's something that I just don't... CES doesn't serve someone like me because I want to meet people and I want to connect with people. I don't want to connect with someone who doesn't know about the product that they're there to represent. I want to talk to people who can help me better understand what it is that they're doing and how much of a value that might be able to place or they're placing on the marketplace. To me, it's about building those relationships. And CES is not the antithesis of relationships, but it's where a bigger event loses a lot of value for me. I like smaller events. I love them because I have a chance to meet more people. And it's not because you have 1 million people there you're going to meet everybody. It's just the opposite. You can't meet anybody.
Boy, he's a passionate little shit, isn't he?
Dude, I've been doing this for years. But someone's asking about CES. I have every intention to go if I can find a way to go. But otherwise, I'm not going to bend over backwards for it. I won't. I've done it so many times before, and I've paid the price. And it's not worth it. It just becomes not worth it.
Okay.
So, anyway, CES.
All right. So he's not going to CES this year?
I don't know. I didn't say that, Jerry.
Whoa, okay.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm just clarifying.
I'm going to find you a sponsor. Anyway, so Chris, if we can find him a sponsor, he'll go this year. Next year, he's going regardless because I'm going to put him in the back of my car. I'm going to tase him.
Are we road tripping down to Vegas?
I'm going to chloroform him and then stick him in the back of the STI and just 120 all the way down there. Dodging cops.
Dude, do you have an STI?
No, not that STI.
Hang on, you know what STI
is short
for, right?
Yes, I know. Sexually transmitted infection. I know. Jerry, I don't have them anymore, okay?
I
got
rid
of them a long time ago.
But Jerry's got an STI.
I do. Big old STI.
Wow, he's got a big STI.
Big STI, guys.
Mitch Collins asks, he's got a disability, according to him. I was wondering what works when into on-screen keyboard for Windows. Do you know an on-screen keyboard for Windows?
Yeah.
I just use the built-in one.
We actually used the on-screen keyboard for Windows for some of the accessibility testing where we needed to simulate key input using a mouse or a touch device. So, but as far, I don't really understand what you mean as far as what work went into it. It's a basic on-screen keyboard. There's not really much that went into it beyond that. I know that it should have been redesigned to support a whole lot of new stuff. I think it does support split keyboard now. So
the built-in Windows, yeah.
So it does split.
It
So
does.
they have evolved it a little bit, but I'd have to hear more about like what specifically you'd want to know about it. But it's a basic keyboard experience. I mean, they included it so that you can operate the entire operating system with a touch device.
Nelson asks, should you be as worried about archiving in the cloud?
Hell yes, you should. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you not seen what's going on with all the celebrity peoples now?
Well, it's not just that. It's
Even my pictures got leaked.
Shut
I'm
up.
just kidding.
I was going to say,
Even if they were,
who wants your naked
would
pictures,
share them?
Jared?
Who
Do
would
you
share
have
them,
naked
right?
pictures?
Oh yeah.
He's got an STI and naked pictures.
Don't judge me, Chris. Don't judge me.
I
got a cell phone with a camera.
I want someone to Photoshop a naked Jerry in an STI and say, I have now leaked, I have an STI and naked pictures on the internet. I don't know. Sorry.
That's the easiest way to not get your pictures shared on the internet.
That's
Just
right.
look like this. Just
I
look
thought
like
you
this.
said just say you have an STI.
Yeah. There you go.
So I do not. I do not
STI
have
or
an
naked
STI,
pictures?
just so you know, neither one. So Nelson asks if you can, archive in the cloud. If you do, I would recommend not just redundancy. Don't put anything out there. I'd be careful about what you put out there if you don't want anybody else to see it.
Well,
honestly,
here,
that's how I feel.
Let me give you a little example. Just because encryption is good, just because an encryption protocol is good today doesn't mean it'll be good tomorrow.
Well, not just that.
Case in point, look at like
Google.
TrueCrypt. Like TrueCrypt, the open source, it was like one of the open source gold standards for encrypting data. Like it was completely unbreakable until like recently.
Really?
Yeah. So encryptions can be broken. And that's the thing is, the CPU power gets faster, even brute force can break them. I mean, what happens 20 years down the road when computers are so damn fast they can process every single 512-bit combination of a key possible in 10 minutes? Well, then you're screwed.
Well, I think we're already kind of at that point, even with like passwords and authentication.
Yeah.
Just, you can't trust a local hard drive. You can't trust
if it's connected, if people can access the data, even if it's encrypted, at some point it won't be encrypted anymore.
That's the thing, and that's honestly what concerns me.
And the funny thing is, like the government, like the CIA and everything like that. I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist, but those guys seem to, conveniently get their hands on a lot of encrypted information all the time. So I'd imagine that most encryptions that are out there now that are considered like gold, ironclad standard, they've already got decryption matrices for them. They're just not public.
So I'd be careful.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, put it on a hard drive, stick it in your safe.
Jared asks, "What do you think of the Amazon Echo?"
It's no. Let me handle this.
All
you know
right,
what the Amazon Echo is? It's a plastic case wrapped around an iPhone with the Siri button taped down. That's all it is.
Pretty much.
That's all it is.
It's a way
I
to
watched
get you
the
to buy
video,
stuff.
and all I could think of was, "Wow, Siri got a new voice font."
Andy CD Green asks, "No, it's actually Alexa."
Oh, Alexa. Well, you can give it any name you want. Remember?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Alexa.
When you get it out of the box, you name it. You can call it whatever you want.
Hey, farthead.
That'd be cool. Hey, dick breath. Yes. I'm gonna get one and name it Dick Breath just so that people. That would be the funniest thing ever. Somebody comes over. Hey, do you know what time it is? Hey, Dick Breath. What time is it? The time right now. Can you do a male voice on it?
I don't know.
Oh God. Okay, I'm getting one. Never mind. I changed my whole point of view on the thing.
This video is now. I have to label as uncensored.
Well, this is always uncensored, isn't it?
It is, but I didn't label it in the title or this point. Andy CD Green asks, "What would you most like to see implemented in HomeKit when it is unleashed next year?" Security.
I don't know what HomeKit is. What's HomeKit?
Basically, it's Apple's platform for unifying the experiences of devices you might have, like smart home devices.
Okay.
HomeKit. So, security.
So their version of X11?
Their version of anything.
All right.
So I think that's, it's one of the reasons why I'm beginning to use fewer and fewer devices, not more and more. You'd imagine I'm using more and more. I'm not. I
have more and more, but I have a core set that I use more than anything else.
I don't. I've become very, very, very aware of security issues, more so than most people would. And the problem is there was like there's a website out there. The legality is still in question, or I guess the morality is definitely in question, where someone has gone through and located like any kind of IP broadcasting camera and published it to a website, so you can basically browse people's alleged security cameras or IP cameras, and they have no idea that anybody else is viewing those cameras.
Wow!
Like it's
That's pretty bad.
Defaults are pretty bad.
So people are just like war dialing, driving around in their cars.
Not even that. No. They publish. I talked to a friend. He says,
"Oh, they're accessible over the internet."
That's the thing. He says only difference. He said the only security mechanism for this. He was looking at an IP camera. He said the only security mechanism was knowing the URL. It published a URL. A security camera that they were looking into. The average person isn't going to know that. They're not going to know.
Well, it's funny. I actually wanted to put security cameras in my house, but I didn't for that very reason.
Yeah, I don't have any security cameras.
Because anything that has RJ45 or wireless networking in it, I just assume at some point it's going to be manipulated.
I've become very
careful. I used to have a video monitor for my kid when he was first born.
Oh right, Wi-Fi.
And it was Wi-Fi, and
I'm just a straight.
No. It wasn't even Wi-Fi. It was just 2.4. But the problem was anybody with the same it wasn't encrypted. Anybody with the same brand of receiver could receive that broadcast. And I remember watching something on TV one night, and they were talking about how like people were going around in cars
sniffing
these things and picking up these cameras and then recording the feeds and posting shit on the internet. And I was like, no, that ain't happening. So I took that thing back to Costco.
I think that's something that people don't think about, and unfortunately, neither do manufacturers. It's something that I wish we didn't have to worry about, but you do. You have to worry about very, very unethical people who are out there.
Yeah, privacy is not a real thing anymore.
Honestly,
unless you're Amish.
Privacy doesn't.
If you're Amish.
Sadly, not even then. I wouldn't even go that far.
If you're Amish and have firearms, then you've got some privacy.
Jared asks about the specs of the new MacBook Pro. It'll be outlined in the unboxing video.
Ooh.
Stefan asks, do you think PC techs are useful, and what can a tech do to stay useful? They're useful, but I think PCs for the average user are like non-existent. But I can tell you this, I don't think my dad is ever going to buy another PC as long as he lives.
Again, I think this is more of a geographic thing, because even up in Kitsap County, the small computer store I used to work at, Mother's Word Computers, still gets a massive amount of business, people coming in with their desktop computers and laptops to get fixed and reinstalled. Yeah. It's literally their bread and butter. They make more money off of servicing customers' computers than selling anything.
But do you think that's going to be, the next 5 years?
Yeah, because
I don't see it happening. I think desktops for the average user, for the power user, for the gamer, for the prosumer, desktops are here. But for everybody else, I don't know. I just see it disappearing.
I think in the next 5 years, I'd say it disappears.
5.
Because
give me 5.
5 years, I'd say it disappears. And the only reason why I'll give you that is because in 5 years, the technology will be so cheap that there's no reason to even keep the other stuff. Because right now, the average person bringing in their computer is it's like their old Dell computer, and they can't afford to go buy a $600 iPad, right? So elderly people have a hard time seeing, so they want their big screens. I've also noticed that a lot of elderly people don't like LCD screens. They prefer the old CRTs. I don't know why. My grandma used to be one of them. Wow. So it's one of those things where it's like, I think, and it's probably just like, why old people like muscle cars. It's like you like the cars that you grew up with. But once that generation gap breaks, I'd say 5 years. Yeah, everybody's going to be because the thing is technology is going to be so cheap that if you want a desktop experience, you take it and plug it into a little thing, and you got a monitor and you got a keyboard. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, not just that, but when I needed a new printer, I did the cost comparison, and it would have cost $50-$60 to buy new ink cartridges for the printer, or $99 to buy a new laser printer with the toner cartridges that would last ad infinitum. Yeah. I'm like, I might as well just buy a new printer.
And the other thing with printing and stuff like that is it's like now everybody does it. It's like every Walgreens, every Costco, everything. You can get photos printed for like under $1 a photo. It's more expensive for you to pay for the ink and the paper than it is to go to Walgreens and get an archival print.
Nothing. Okay, this may very well be the last question.
I think the same thing's going to happen with 3D printing eventually, too.
Really? You think so? Just send it to
I think that you're going to have store? like Walgreens, you're going to go on the webpage, upload your STL with all the parameters and say print and go pick the thing up an hour later. And it's going to be higher quality than what you can produce in-house, and overall the material cost will be about the same or cheaper. I think we're a ways off from that happening because
probably about 10, 15 years.
I wouldn't even say 15. I'd say 10.
Hey,
10 years on the high side.
Now, I had a chance to get a sneak peek of it, but did you see the Sprout PC that HP released?
Yeah, what's up with that? It's weird.
Weird, how?
It's weird because it's like a 3D scanner built into the freaking computer.
Yeah, kind of.
That's kind of just weird. That's a weird peripheral to actually include in box, oh, here's your touchscreen computer and 3D scanner. Like, huh?
Yeah, I was curious about it.
When I first saw the article, I almost thought that it was just like a prototype.
You have to see it in person. No, you have to see it in person.
I've never seen it in person. Okay.
Yeah, you have to see it in person.
I just saw the pictures and I read the article and I was like, the first thing I thought was, oh, this is some crazy prototype some dude.
No, it's real. It's for, I've seen.
You liked it though? Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it took the idea of the PC and actually did something different with it compared to every other OEM that adds a bigger.
But as far as
screen
difference, did you see a real usable advantage to it? Like something?
Yes. If the developer could write to it, I absolutely see the difference.
Wow.
Yeah. No. If skilled developers,
We're gonna check one of these out. I want to see it now.
All right, I know a few people. I
Hook me up, bro.
I might be able looking at you. All right, we're looking at this product. Ace Tech and Gaming. To do tech reviews, would a DSLR or a GoPro Hero be better?
Oh, we were just talking about this.
Yeah, we were geeking out about this before the broadcast. This will be the last question. It's the last one I have from Liz, at least. And I know we're moving on to 90 minutes in the broadcast.
Oh yeah, we got to wrap it up. Wrap it up, B.
So let's go ahead and let Jerry answer this question, since he's the one that
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. All my videos that I shoot for my channel, at least the stationary videos that I do in front of my big monitor display, are shot with a Canon 5D Mark III, which is a $3,500 SLR body. Well, I just bought a GoPro Hero 4, and I shot some video with it the other day, some test footage, and it is damn near as good. Like, I mean, most people wouldn't even notice the difference between that and the SLR under the same lighting conditions. We're talking now again with the SLR, you have focus capabilities, you have zoom capabilities, you have a lot of stuff. You have a lot of stuff that gives you that cinematographic advantage, right? But if you're just doing stationary video, like for like vlogs and podcasts and stuff like that, the video quality on the Hero 4 is insane.
Wait, which one? Which one?
This is the Pro. This is the black.
Yeah.
Hero 4 Black, and it'll do 4K.
30 frames per second.
At 30 frames per second, it'll do, 2.7K? Like, it does the next step down, then it does 1440p at, like, 60 frames per second or 100 frames per second. Then it's 1080p at 120. And it's beautiful. The video on it's beautiful, and the thing that shocked me the most about it was GoPros are notoriously known for bad audio. Better audio.
Really?
Couldn't believe it.
No, GoPro.
Mind freaking blown. Yeah.
Really?
The little microphone that's on the side of the thing, even just being in front of it or behind it, the pickup on it, it kept all the bass and all the depth of my voice. It almost like I was shooting with a shotgun mic.
On the GoPro?
On a GoPro.
So it's good.
It's fantastic. So the truth is, I'm actually going to do a video. Keep an eye on my channel. And the next week, I'm going to be doing a review of the GoPro 4. I just haven't had time to do it yet. But I'm going to literally shoot the entire GoPro 4 review in 4K using the GoPro.
See, that's what I'm going to do with the Panasonic sent.
What better way to show you how good it is,
I've got a Panasonic. Hang on. I'm going to show you an upcoming thing. Hang on.
Oh yeah. Go get the Cyberborg.
Yeah.
But no, the GoPro really did shock me because I have a GoPro Hero 2. That's the last generation I had. I skipped over the 3 generation. And the GoPro Hero 2 took actually really good video at 1080p, but it was definitely a little washed out and the contrast wasn't there. And you had to doctor it a lot in Adobe Premiere or your video editing suite. I found that with the GoPro 4, the video that just comes right off the memory card is actually pretty damn good as long as you got decent lighting.
So,
oh hey, what's up there, Mr. Simmons?
This is not exactly Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a GoPro. No, it's not a GoPro. This is a
Say,
Panasonic product.
Say, I am Locutus Borg. Do it.
I am Locutus Borg. You will be assimilated.
That's seriously what you look like, dude. All you need is a red glowing LED on that thing.
Locutus. I am 7 of 9. That's horrible.
Yep.
So this is the A500 from Panasonic. I have not reviewed it, but what I plan on doing is essentially doing the same thing.
Yep.
This particular camera that's mounted on my head with this band and this strap is capable of producing 4K video.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to do is basically like do a shot of like walking around the house with Jedi or what have you. This straps on the arm, and I don't have it like strapped completely. Like everything.
Yeah, cinch that sucker down. There you go.
Oh, god damn.
You getting it?
Yeah, I think so. No, I'm not. My arms are not husky enough for the A500. It's got a monitor here. I think this also connects to Ustream, so you can do live video streaming from this as well. And
that would be cool for gaming if it works well.
Oh yeah,
and it doesn't
like
pick up the moire effect on the monitor. That would be amazing.
So I haven't had a chance to test it fully because I was waiting to get a good micro SD card for it. So I do plan on testing it. Yeah, it's the Panasonic A500, and I do also plan on getting a GoPro Hero 4 Black.
Make sure you get the black because that's the only one that does the 4K.
It's black. I'm getting that courtesy of Prodrenalin. You've heard of Mercalli, they do video stabilization. They're actually working on a new version. If you do any kind of GoPro video, you know that stabilization's not quite there. This software, which runs only on Windows at this stage, really truly on Windows, will help mitigate the effects of the stabilization.
Is it software stabilization?
No, I mean the processing. Yeah, well,
yeah.
You take the video, you put it, and you process it.
It's laying the frame so that they align.
It makes it a better video. So if you do any kind of GoPro video, Prodrenalin. Were you looking for that?
No. The other thing that I wanted to point out too, though, is the cool thing about shooting 4K is I was against 4K for a while because I was like, the video power that you need to process 4K for like video games and apps is incredibly high. But the thing I found out about 4K is if you can shoot the video source in 4K, that means you can crop it down and zoom into a quarter and still have native 1080p with no. So if I was shooting in my nerd cave, imagine being able to shoot with a camera completely stationary and then do all my visual zooming ins and croppings and moving around, doing that all in software without having to physically move the camera. It's clean. That's pretty badass.
So I do plan on highlighting that in a video possibly this week. I don't know if I'll be able to include sample footage. That may be a separate video because the way I want to do it live, and obviously I don't think I can do it live with that. Well, you can't. There's a Ustream app for it, but I hadn't connected it.
Does it have an HDMI out on
it? Not directly.
Because I was going to say
you can't use it as a live stream.
The GoPro 4 Black actually has uncompressed HDMI out, which means you can actually take a native 4K stream.
So wait, you can stream?
You can literally run it out of the GoPro into a capture card and live stream 4K.
Dude, I may want to replace this if I can find a good HDMI capture card for OS. Oh, that will work with a Mac or OS 10.
Yeah, you totally could. That's what I want to use it for. Is I actually have my capture PC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up XSplit on it or OBS, and I'm going to have my
which is available for OS 10 now.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw it. Is it out of beta now, or is it still in beta?
It may be in beta.
So I capture my middle screen on my setup using basically HDMI going out to a splitter, and then it goes into my capture card.
Right.
Well, I have another run on my capture card. So what I wanted to do is run an HDMI from the GoPro, put it on a tripod behind me, and then I could actually do picture-in-picture.
Nice.
But then I could switch between them, and it would still be a nice, big, clean feed. But to give you an idea, the only other camera I've seen that has an uncompressed HDMI out on it is the really high-end SLRs, like the Canon 5D Mark IIs and Mark IIIs. Thousands of dollars, and this little GoPro can do it.
So I need to find a good capture mechanism, an external capture mechanism.
Yep.
Running over Thunderbolt. Well,
there's got to be a Thunderbolt capture.
No, there has to be. Well, I don't know if
they use them for video editing. How else do they get the freaking video off there?
Well, see, here's the thing. Look at that. There's an HDMI port built into the MacBook Pro, but it's not. It doesn't work the way I need it to. I can't go out.
Oh, it's
HDMI
out, not in, right?
No,
okay.
It's
only for going out to a TV or a next monitor. Yeah. You need one that's actually in an input. Yeah.
So anyway, that's about all we I think have time or would want to cover at this stage today. Someone wants to know
oh my God.
when your next codegasm is.
I haven't made a codegasm for a couple of weeks, and people are freaking out because they loved it. They absolutely loved it. I would love to do another codegasm, but unfortunately I've got about 5 other videos I have because I'm actually like under deadlines on them, or it's stuff that's relevant and been in the can too long. I got to get that stuff done. But don't worry, I haven't given up on codegasm. I got to keep my coding skills sharp. So codegasm's still there, and I think from all the feedback that I've gotten from it, it'll probably never die. But you guys just got to give me another week or two to get back on my feet. But it'll be a good one. I'll do a codegasm. It'll probably be UI related. A lot of people have been wanting to see the GUI get busted out, so we might bust out with a little Windows Form application or something like that. So feel free to send me your ideas. And nothing super complex. I'm not creating like super 3D games and stuff for codegasm. It's got to be something I can create in an hour.
I couldn't create anything. I yield to the master. Quilvio Lopez does ask, Chris, would you vlog on a GoPro? Wide angle lens is very good.
Except for it's wide, medium, and narrow now because it's 4K. They can crop the sensor. Crop it.
So what I'm probably going to do is a full-on Pirillo vlog one day, specifically on the GoPro 4. Thanks again to I was able to get the company that does Prodrenalin to basically sponsor it. So it's going to be a 4K vlog. I don't know if it's going to be the only 4K vlog yet, but I will be doing a 4K vlog at some point in the insanely near future.
It's so good. I actually paid full retail for the GoPro because GoPro said they didn't have any more media samples for me. So I was like, all right, I'll just go get one. I contacted GoPro
I found a
directly.
sponsor because dude, I mean,
Yeah.
if I bought every single gadget, I mean, I'd be in trouble.
Well, I honestly,
would
I mean,
really
I
be in
literally
trouble.
can't. But it was one of those things where it's like I really wanted to record a lot of cool footage from my 2-day advanced class at Dirtfish.
That's cool.
So,
Joey Manrique says your Codegasm videos are amazing. I love learning how to program.
aw.
And some people are saying in the chat or on YouTube, they're saying Blackmagic makes a good Thunderbolt capture card. So I'll look into it. I gotta look at
Blackmagic's
cost.
good stuff too.
I know. I mean, it's pretty much the name as far as capture goes. If I can get it to work, well in my setup, I'd be able to do the videos that I do out of this particular camera, which goes out FireWire, but it has an HDMI out as well.
Oh, I just noticed that question. I noticed that was Swashin that said that. He's right here because I'm wearing her shirt.
Nice. So the problem is figuring out the cost in relation to how much I'm going to get out of it. So
Yeah.
I have to let people know that over the next coming weeks, we're retooling a few things, how we do the workflow of content. Here's the plan. Here's number one. Intel Android, use the hashtag on Twitter. Trust me, I want to give away one of these every week, but in order to do that, we have to have people participate. Use the hashtag Intel Android thing on Twitter. Do it. Just please do it. Because I want to give more. I want to give away something a week. I really do, but I can't.
Can I create a fake Twitter account and sign up so that if I win it, people
Jerry,
won't think it's me?
Don't tell me you did that. God damn it. Culpable deniability here. So,
You said what's culpable mean?
Culpable deniability. Like you're.
Well, I know deniability. Culpable
Like,
is the one
is
I'm
it
not familiar-
believable?
Oh.
Like, are you responsible? Is
Oh,
it
I
like
see.
culpable deniability?
Good.
It's like
Thank you, Mr. Dictionary guy.
well, that's I'm doing my best to condense the definition of that word to provide better context for you to be able to.
What does condense mean? I'm just kidding. I know what
Husky.
condense means.
That's husky. Husky is condense. So condense is husky.
No, I think that's just dense.
This is the huskiest video we've ever done. So here's the plan, and it may change. So many of you know that I do rely on the support of our supernomies, our patrons, and I really, really appreciate that. I've got plenty of bonuses coming down the pike. We're doing TLDR, the LockerGnome Daily Report. It's probably pretty much in terms of me talking about geek news. It's probably going to be audio moving forward. The patrons, aka the supernomies, will get that ahead of time. Everybody else, like a day later. You can, if you want to wait, you can. You're not going to miss anything.
Wait, am I a supernomie if I've
You are.
patron?
You
Okay,
are.
I'm just
If
making
you're
sure.
if you're a patron, you're one of the supernomies. We're going to TLDR will be audio, but I'm also planning on recording a live video of me recording the audio, so patrons will be able to see an audio or a video version of that as well. So everybody gets audio, patrons get audio and video ahead of time. Then I want to do a product of the day. Everybody will be able to see it. Patrons will get that stuff happening live ahead of time. And then at a tertiary level, I want to do basically the Q&A with you and me like I've been doing every day. What?
Oh, somebody said I'd do the best facial impressions, so I was just making funny faces.
like,
I'm
what?
sorry,
What would I do?
Did it make you uncomfortable when I was going like this when you're talking?
So, oh wait, hang on. It's plausible deniability, not culpable deniability. Culpable is guilty, isn't it? Hang on. Now you got me wondering.
Oh, did we break Chris? I think we broke Chris. Diana. We broke
It is
him.
guilty. Yeah, I knew it. I
Broke
know.
him.
Ah! Dude, I had 2 Russian Imperial
Culpable.
Stouts. It's guilty. You're culpable. It's
Guilty deniability.
Probable. Ah!
In Spanish,
Culpable?
I'm smarter than Chris.
No, you're not. I'm just stupid.
Might not have a higher IQ, but I'm
I
smarter.
suck. Probable. Hang on. What do you call? What do you say? Plausible deniability.
Yeah, there you go. Culpable.
This is what happens when Chris talks after he's had beer. This is a problem. I was incorrect.
See, I can't believe
apologize.
anything he says now, guys. Can't believe anything he says.
Joseph McGillian says his sucks. I agree. I suck. I admit it. I suck.
His sucks. I'm a his.
Craig Pinnell says, check Twitter, please. Sent you a link to HDMI to Thunderbolt capture.
Oh, and his comment before that was, "You never see my comment. His sucks." Well, we saw that. We saw his sucks.
You never see my comments.
And then up
And I
above
see
there's
he
another
sucks.
His sucks. Well,
Okay.
you were saying
so-
the wrong things. That's why we didn't see your comment.
Jared F. Chris is drunk. No, I'm just very happy. Jerry is drunk.
I'm not drunk. I drank like half
He's
a beer.
not
dude.
drunk. He had half a beer.
Why
dude.
does everybody always thinks
Everybody
I'm drunk
thinks
on the
he's
stream?
drunk. No
I'm
one's
not
always
drunk. I'm just
drunk.
naturally this stupid.
Yeah, apparently I'm more stupider than Jerry tonight with the whole saying more stupider. Number one. Number two, saying culpable deniability. Who says that?
Nobody
Who says
does. That's
culpable deniability?
I was like, what is this
I
guy
knew
talking
that, but
about over
honey, I knew what culpable meant. I know what it means. I don't know why I used the word.
I mean, it sounds like.
I think Chris got Alzheimer's.
I don't have old timers disease.
I think he does.
I want to hear what you're trying to say.
It's no wonder I wanted to wrap up 15 minutes ago.
Hey, Diana, let's put him in a home.
I am in a home. It's my home. I love my home.
I love your
It's
home,
a good
too.
home. So, dark table. Beer equals happiness. Indeed, it does. Now I think people would. I think you would understand why I want to talk about beer and geek lifestyles. Is beer geeky? Do geeks like beer?
No, you can geek out over beer.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I totally want to get into porters and stouts. What would you like? A beer?
I'm going to see a friend tomorrow. Jason, he's like the geekiest guy I've ever known in my life, and he's got like his little microbrew thing. Looks like flux capacitor.
I don't necessarily want. I would drink someone's microbrew, but I wouldn't want to brew it myself. Like I'll
blow yourself up.
No, I probably would.
You would.
I probably would. So what I'm saying is that I'll probably be slipstreaming beers that I find, porters and stouts, and it's potentially going to be. I'm just saying, I want to do I want to call it CPU, Chris Pirillo, or Chris Pirillo's, and then I got to figure out what the U is short for. But that's going to be like once every weekday. TLDR once every weekday. Patrons get tons of bonuses out the wazoo. And then the Q&A with you and me. Because I do a Q&A video every day, and then patrons get access to that. The super nomies is what I call it. So
that's wonderful.
Wine is better than beer, says Dan Fernando. I don't disagree. There's some wine. I mean, no, there are times that I really enjoy wine, and there are times that I really enjoy beer.
If you're talking about bottle for bottle, wine is better. Like drinking a whole bottle of wine versus drinking one bottle of beer, wine is better.
But it doesn't really matter. Anna Geekweb. Okay, officially drunk. Fix your glasses. Jerry, fix your glasses.
I don't have glasses.
He doesn't have glasses.
I did wear glasses.
Who's drunk now?
Here, true story. I went to the optometrist once. They gave me glasses, right?
Yeah.
And they hurt my eyes for like 2 weeks. So I went to a different optometrist, and he said I have was it 2015 vision? And he said they're perfect, and I don't have any problems with my eyes. Go home. So I got like duped into getting glasses. I didn't even need them.
I got these. These are Warby Parkers. It was like a sponsored thing. And they work well, but I'm having issues focusing on things really up close. Like that 5K iMac is beautiful. The problem is my eyes sitting so close to a screen.
It's not just your advanced years?
No,
Like,
dude. Well, but it could very well play into it. Honestly, I've tried to fight for prescriptions, but it hasn't happened.
I feel really old.
Jerry, people keep saying to fix your glasses. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, Jerry is not wearing glasses. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because people think that Jerry's wearing glasses, apparently.
Yeah, apparently the internet's drunker than we are today.
I think so. Well, if you had the Russian stuff that I had, then you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he hit that like button if you enjoyed this stream.
If you enjoyed the stream. If you did not, then just go away.
Just leave.
If you watched this video after it was live, you're in a very small group of people. Because most people don't watch live videos after they're live.
Yeah, you're pretty prestigious if you watch this like recorded.
Jerry won't even come over here again until we reach 1,000 likes for this video. So I'm putting it on.
Well, Chris, I would like to see you again at some point.
Well, you can see me. We can FaceTime or
I don't know. You get
Google
1,000 likes on a
whatever.
video. I don't know if I want to risk our friendship on that one.
Well, that's not bad. I think that was a slight against me, but I'm not sure. I don't.
It was
I don't,
slightly.
I don't know if it's slighted here. Hang on. Okay, so we've answered just about every possible question we could have asked. And now I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it.
Somebody just gave you your name. Chris
Unplugged. But what if it's something that I have to plug in?
Good point.
I don't think that's going to be a possibility because I may have to plug it in. Okay, thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for more changes in this channel. You don't change the channel, but change this channel with Jerry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go subscribe to me if you're not already subscribed to me.
And I put the link in the video description
I'm
so that
really in there this time.
The one guy who whined about it can't whine.
Hey, if you're somebody who doesn't know who I am or is not subscribed to my channel, tweet me about it because I want to know. I want to know if it's just like everybody in here is like people that are already subscribed to me.
This is what I'm saying.
I was just curious, Chris.
I was saying, okay. So, well, we put the pudding pops. This is okay.
Oh, God, it's time to kill it now.
At
Kill it
this
now.
point,
Quick, before we lose everybody.
I'm going to leave you to your own devices.
Cheers. Wherever
everybody knows your name.